Hello everybody, welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I'm TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm cheating you.
And I'm NV Jitters.
Now, so this week we were supposed to watch Magia Record 9 and a bunch of episodes of Tokyo Mew Mew. But, who wants to admit to it?
I did not watch it.
Everybody but Al.
Everybody but Al didn't watch it. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I have excuses.
Okay, yes, you have some excuses. There's a couple excuses that can go around. It's alright, I don't blame anybody. But we'll continue those next week. So this week it's just Magia Record. So we watched episode 9. What happened? I think in the last episode we were looking into the Invisible Girl or the Radio Wave Girl or whatever they were deciding to call her.
Yeah.
What was the name of that? The original one? The
Electric Wave.
Electric Wave Girl. Again, stupid name. But yeah. So they start getting the emails. Now they're actually communicating with this Uwasa. And one of the first things we find out is that the Uwasa wants to die. Their name is I.
Mm-hmm.
E. And, yeah, they want to die. And I guess their rumor is that if you jump off the radio tower, you go to the Endless Solitude. But if someone else is there, they get kicked out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we find out about another magical girl. The shield hero that we saw in the opening.
Yep.
Sana... Was it Sana
Futaba, yeah. So Sana wished to be invisible, which is, as far as wishes go, a little weird. I guess she just not a very sociable person.
Well, and that everybody in her life treated her like shit.
Probably made her a non-sociable person.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so she wished for that, and then, her wish came true, like it always does. And she's invisible to people, and, can't really make connections with anyone. And I guess magical girls can see her, but that's about it. And she gets to the point where she decides to jump off the tower and go into the Endless Solitude, and she meets an AI, which she then later names I, and they become best friends, and she's living in a virtual fantasy world where she doesn't have to have any problems. But, of course, the AI is learning, and it learns to love and feel and all those sort of things. So it contacts Iroha to be like, hey, I need you to get this girl out of here. It's not healthy for her to be here. But also, I might be connected to the wings of the Magius, and they're going to use me to destroy people. You should kill me.
Save other people from suffering the same fate.
Yeah, which, I don't think Sana's suffering. But...
Not everybody is like her.
No. And but if Sana's the only one there, they can't really get anyone else in there. So I don't know that this is really a problem.
I think the AI was probably thinking of logic and more of, the future of, what could happen if somebody were to fall off the tower.
I guess so. I don't know. I guess it's just, yeah, this is, we need a reason to fight a witch of some kind, but we don't really fight a witch of some kind because the thing just wants to die. It's not going to put up a fight.
We do see another, I guess, magical girl inside the Solitude.
Yes, we were kind of wondering because there have been other magical girls in the opening that we haven't identified yet. One of them was Sana, but another one was a green-haired girl that... I missed her name, but she was speaking another language.
Her name's Alina Gray.
Alina Gray.
Is she French?
No. No.
She was speaking something that wasn't Japanese.
Italian, I think.
Oh, is that Italian?
Okay. Yeah, she's evil, I guess.
Yeah.
Wings of the Magius kind of person.
Or
Very powerful,
Spanish.
likes to paint things, I guess.
I can't tell.
I'm really not sure. I'm not 100% on it. But yeah, I guess she's been using the AI, or will be using the AI. And she attacks Sana and Iroha, and the AI takes Alina out of the program, and she's like, hey, I need to die. So, of course, Sana has to be the one to do it. And they share a tearful goodbye, and stabby, and the AI is dead. I don't know that that's how you kill an AI, but okay. The labyrinth collapses, and everyone to the real world.
So will Sana get along with the rest of the boarding school house? Will she live with them now?
It's hard to say, but I mean, I found this one kind of interesting. It doesn't seem to go much with the plot that we've been having with the whole Magius stuff. It connects, but
I almost feel like with this series, it kind of feels like I don't want to say it's directly Monster of the Week, but like there's like a new threat or a new threat every week or so or something like that.
I mean,
It's more the traditional style of how these kinds of animes are supposed to go. Except each one's kind of like its own little mini arc.
yeah. Which I suppose you could say Madoka was that too. It had a monster every time, but the focus was never on the monster. It was always on what was happening with the characters, because it was more of a character-driven drama than more of a traditional.
And I guess this show
thing.
technically still has a central storyline, but I think the first show was a lot more centralized in its story than this one.
It was focused.
Yeah, it was a lot
better,
more focused.
I think. Yeah.
Because like by episode 9 of the original Madoka, we had our heartstrings pulled out with Kyoko and what was Sayaka. So
yeah, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a lot going on, and I don't know what all we have going on here, because
I mean, I guess the overarching plot is trying to find obviously, Iroha trying to find her sister, but then also the Wings of the Magius. Like, are they the ones that are secretly running everything that's going wrong in the city, and why there's no traditional witches? And why...
I mean, there are traditional witches, but they're not there's different kinds of witches, and QBs can't get in that.
Yeah.
And people are turning into berserker witches and turning back. So I don't know. I mean, we brought this up in the past. Or at the very least, our first time we looked at this, you said there was going to be 26 episodes. We later found out there's 13 episodes, but then there's other people saying, online, oh, they might do a second season very quickly after the first one. Yeah, what was it called?
Split Core.
Split Core. It has to be a split core at this point.
Yeah.
Because was it 9 out of 13?
Yeah.
We're almost 2/3 of the way through the show, and they're still introducing characters. Either this thing is going to crash and burn on the ending, or there has to be a second half. Because I don't know any self-encapsulated, 13 episode season that keeps introducing characters up to episode 9 and still ends in a cohesive way. I don't know.
Yeah. They'll probably, if they are going to do a second 13 episode run, they'll probably announce it after the final episode of this arc or season.
Yeah, and we're more than 2/3. Yeah, we got
4 episodes left.
Oh, 4. Yeah, okay. It's about to be 3 episodes. That's yeah, that's really all I think I can talk about with this is that I'm trying to think of how this is all running together, because again, Chippy said, this is kind of one of those self-encapsulated arc things, which we've been seeing a lot in Mew Mew, I think. Because that's a far more traditional magical girl anime. But we've been trying to set up, I think where the differences lie between that and this is in Mew Mew you have the central plot of get the magic power source before the bad guy does, which is very simple. It's very easy just to put in the background if you need to. Versus this one, which is a far more complicated central plot. There are people probably betraying each other. There's an evil organization. What are they doing? What are they doing with all the witches? How are these witches different? What is wrong with this area? It's and nothing has been revealed to us or answered from a lot of the questions that we had early on.
And I was also thinking about this too, is that I think the story in the game might work a little bit better because it's a mobile game, so you're designed to play it in chunks. So you one play session, you play 1 or 2 chapters. You put it down, come back to it another day, you continue the story whenever. I don't
know. Maybe that is how you do it, but I would think it'd take you a little longer than play for one session. You get through 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think some people have commented before that, again, it might be a split core thing because the pace that they're going at, it seems to be still early in the game where they're at.
Yeah.
But again, because all I have to go off of is that we have this show I'm not exactly thinking that the ending's going to be very good. And because like I feel they have 4 episodes to basically answer every question that we have so far, which I don't think they'll do, because then they would like that would probably ruin the game. It's like the reason you're playing through the game, other than I guess completionist stuff, might be to find out what's going on with the story, and it's a kind of game where you're going to continue making more chapters and more chapters because you don't want people to stop playing your game, and it's just how those kind of mobile games have to work. But it's either split core or they're going to do that whole we have to wrap this up because the manga is ongoing and we don't know how it ends kind of thing. And that never works. Ever. We're going to get like a Hellsing ending before the OVA. And that was shit.
I never saw Hellsing, so...
The first half is just like the first and second OVAs. The OVAs are better. But after that, they kind of have to do their own thing. And it's garbage. Their plot becomes garbage. And I'd rather not happen here because I'm a fan of the Madoka series in general. I don't know. My hopes are for split core, but right now I'm leaning toward this is just going to be a shitty ending where they're like, hey, go play the game if you want to actually know what happens. And I'm like, fuck you. That's a bad adaptation. The art's still fun though. So
the animation is gorgeous. Like, I'd never get tired of the animation.
Yeah. What did we think about the AI?
I mean, I kind of felt bad for Sana at the end having to say goodbye to, like, the only friend she ever had in her life.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting in, like, a Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep kind of thing, which I feel like we brought up in other anime yay or nays that we've done.
They were in love.
They were in love?
Yes.
Well, I think they were definitely friends.
They were in love.
Well, they said that they loved each other, but, like, what type of love were you referring to? Like, romantic love, like family love, or...
They were in love.
Can you love a robot?
I mean, we have routes on Monster Prom to prove that.
What do you say?
Can you love a robot? Can a robot love?
Yes.
I mean, we just got done playing Monster Seeking Monster, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say the answer would be yes.
Well, I was going to say, we've had calculator endings in Monster Prom, so...
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's interesting. I would... You mentioned the whole... They're doing mini-arc episode things, encapsulated stuff, and that's usually nice. I actually think the AI character could have been really interesting had they not killed it and kept it around. Because the other magical girl, the Magias, are using witches and other such creatures to do their own ends. I mean, would it be so bad to turn a witch or Uasa or AI or whatever to be a good person?
Well, not only that, though, but like you could have used the AI to get more information if she had any on the Winds of the Magias and what their plans are. But...
I mean, obviously they don't want to give us too much information early on, because I'm again, this is either going to end like shit or be the first half of something.
I hope it's the first half of something.
Me too. But I think it would have been cool to see them like put them in a closed network computer or something, so that no one else could get to the robot, and it could be like just their. I don't know. I think it could have been cool to have an AI character, and like you could have explored it more, because like we explore a little bit here of them figuring out feelings and humanity and stuff, but the focus is really mainly on Sana and how she's just can't make social stuff work.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been cool to explore the robot a little bit more. I don't know. Do you guys have any predictions for what's going on here? Or like what Alina is going to do? And...
No idea.
I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark, and I'm probably going to be wrong. I know we've talked about this before, but in some of the promotional material for this season going into it, not the main poster, she's not on the main poster, but in some of the promotional art, they teased Aroha standing next to Madoka herself. So I have a feeling if it is going to be a split core, they'll end episode 13 with a cliffhanger with Madoka entering the city.
I would not put that past them, because that seems like the kind of smart little cliffhanger thing you could throw in there.
And plus, like, on the art for the game on the App Store, Madoka's, like, front and center next to Aroha. So, like, obviously she's a part of this universe in some way, and where you're for
Yeah.
it. So,
At the same
That's
time,
season
though...
finale kind of material.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's no way you could have anything in the Madoka universe without mentioning or showing Madoka in some form or fashion. She doesn't have to be in the show, but they could still use her just to sell it.
true, but yet
It's a bit of
again,
a
why
pain
would
in the
they
ass if
put
they're
her?
not.
Why would they put her front and center on some of the marketing?
Because it's Madoka.
I know.
No one knows what this is if there's no Madoka.
That'd be pretty false advertising if they did that.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen false advertising in an anime, but, you know. I don't know, it's hard to say, because...
My thing is that maybe before she went off to the city, Mammy told Madoka that, hey, I'm going to go out of town for a little bit, and I'm going here or there, don't follow me. But of course, Madoka gets worried because, you know, she's a worrisome, and so...
Is she? I never got much of a sense of her character.
But she gets worried about Mammy and decides, hey, you know what? Let's go see what Mammy's up to. She might be in trouble. So
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't really speak to anything of who's going to show up. We know Mammy's there. We know Kyoko is there. We can count on them to be some part of what's about to happen. I don't know that we can count on Sayaka, Madoka, or Homura at this point. At this point, for me. Now, maybe they show up at the end, or maybe they do something, or whatever. I'm trying to think, like... Because if this is technically considered inside one of Homura's loops, there's only about a month of time. I don't know how much time has passed, or if we're getting close to the reset point. And I don't even know if that would affect this, or not. I mean, it's hard to say, like... This is considered one of the timelines. Clearly, well, I don't know, it's always hard to be like, did Homura reset the universe back to her starting point, or has she been sliding between different universes that have different continuities and realities? Because I've seen different materials that have said, like, other than the differences she made, there were other differences, like, Kyosuke doesn't play the violin anymore, he plays the guitar. That would clearly have to have happened and been affected, domino effect or something, butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it, years earlier than she would have been going back in time. So it's possible maybe she's switching world lines as opposed to just repeating one world line.
So she's pulling an Okabe.
Yes, a little more so. But again, if we're just working off of what's in the series, it's hard to say. So maybe Homura doing her little backflip time travel thing doesn't actually affect the timeline in this or whatever, because this has clearly been going on for much longer than a month. So it couldn't have just been in that time limit. But, yeah. Maybe this is just a world line where this is happening.
Maybe.
Same as the world line where Mammy took over. I would like to see it. I think that'd be interesting. Like, it might be cool to see a comedic version of Madoka. Like, I know they do parody series of other properties. Like, you were talking about earlier, the one off Fate.
Oh,
Where they're all magical girls.
Oh, that's not really a parody. That's just a spin-off, and it's
Well, yeah, but it's all the characters, but they're like it's a spoof. It's they're in different.
Amelia.
Yeah, it's not like serious. It's not in continuity.
No, but it's not really a parody either. It's a magical girl spin-off where Ia from Fate Stay Night is a magical girl.
Yeah, but they're not in the main continuity, so you could consider it a spoof if you want. Like, what's that isekai show where all the isekais are in school together?
Isekai Quartet.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I'm assuming it's like that. It's like, okay, this is just a fun little side thing that we're doing. This doesn't actually affect any of the continuity in the actual shows or series, manga, games, whatever. It's just like I think Fate had another one a while ago.
Well, yeah, the one that you showed us in Anime Club all the years ago, Carnival Phantasm.
What was the... Yes! I love Carnival Phantasm. But yeah, that didn't actually affect anything in the show. I think it'd be cool to see Homura. The manga that I read, Homura Tamura or something, and it's basically just her flipping back and forth through time and seeing all the different world lines. There's one where QB is a lawyer and he's like going over every detail of the contract. There's one universe where she doesn't just have one soul gem. There's like 300 soul gems that she has to keep track of constantly. There's one where the one that I love the most was I think she got sick of using magic, so she spent the entire month doing like a kung fu training montage, like standing under a waterfall and punching a bag a whole bunch of times. It got to the point where she was so strong she just one-punched the witch at the end. And she's like, I have done it. I have saved the day. Madoka is safe, and so is the world. And then Madoka's just like, oh, that was too easy. You can go around again. And then Madoka turns on the turn back time. I think that'd be fun. And if they wanted to do just a random spin-off thing, that'd be a fun little get a couple episodes out of it. Because they're very short. You could do like a 6-episode miniseries out of it.
So in other words, Madoka slice of life.
It is kind of a Homura slice of life. Actually, it does get kind of slice of life because there is like a bunch of little ones where she's just like, okay, here's what I'm doing. It's like between her little big time travel and try to affect things moments, and she's kind of like going like, what am I going to have for dinner? And like, it's her figuring out shit. Which was fun. But yeah, I don't know that they're going to do that anytime soon. I feel like that might have been a better way to go for a spin-off thing, because you wouldn't have to worry about writing something as tight as the original show. Which it feels like they might be trying to do here, but they're trying to base it off of a game, which we said before, is a much larger story, and quite frankly, it's a story that probably won't end until they run out of money.
Yeah.
So I'm not confident in their ability to ever end this series like in a fully cohesive way. So yeah, maybe going with something a little bit lighter, and especially because like people are always going to compare this to the original show.
Yeah.
Which was such a tightly written show that it's like you're gonna start looking like you suck in comparison no matter what. Even if we do get some cool stuff every now and then, I'm like trying to. I don't know. I think by the end of episode 13, we might be able to like look at a comparison between this and the original show, but see where everything landed.
I also thought the story of Madoka, for how deep it got, was still relatively simple. Like, it was still easy to follow, and I think this story is, I don't know, maybe I'm a dumbass, but I just think it's a little confusing and convoluted at times, to tell you the truth.
I felt the same way.
When you get into Homura's stuff a little bit, yes.
No, like for this show.
Oh, for this show,
yeah,
it is complicated because I think this thing is supposed to be going for like 8 or 9 chapters of gameplay and heavily written story that they're now trying to condense into a show.
Yeah, like I never not understood the original show. The original show was a straightforward story, just with a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, it was simple, but it was like a lot of characters that added everything. And this one, it's like we want characters with depth, despite the fact that I don't think we've seen a ton of depth out of a whole lot of characters.
No, none of them except maybe what's her name? The oldest one. I keep forgetting her name. Yachio.
Yeah,
like
she's
she's like.
Bit, but we've gotten such vague stuff about her that I don't even know if I could count it.
Yeah, like that's.
We know there's a lot there, but it's like kind of like how you knew there was a lot going on with Homura, even though she wasn't saying anything. But we eventually got the reveal of it. I don't know when they're going to reveal Yachio's thing.
Yeah.
Or all of it.
Because, like, Roha's pretty simple. The best magical girl ever, she's relatively simple.
A lot of them have simple wishes, and they're simple. Now, Roha's a little different because there's actually a bit of a mystery there, which is cool. But yeah, it's like they want to have at least a couple of deep characters like they had in the original show, but they also want a very heavy and complicated plot, which I feel like is not mixing 100%. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how they wrap it up, but... I don't know. Gab, what do you think of the plot and characters? Where it's all going?
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard for me to follow.
What have you been having trouble with?
Just what is supposed to be going on?
That's a good question. It's a little meandering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, half the time it's like, oh, we got to figure out the wings of the Magus. Oh, we got to figure out the rumor people. And then they're also trying to fit in other little things with the characters. Which, I don't know, can work if you balance it right, but it's not, I don't know if it's being balanced right. Because, like, again, the other show, very simple. Which is bad. Magical girls, fight. Then you have so much more room to do character stuff. And I feel like they're trying to split their time between like 3 different things. So it's like each episode we're either getting something about rumors, something about the Magius, or something about an individual character. But we have to include all of them at the same time. So everything is getting the shorthand a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chibs? Did we lose Chibi?
Says she's still there, but doesn't say she's talking.
Oh dear. Might have an issue. I don't know. Can you hear us? Maybe they stepped away.
Maybe.
Oh well.
Meow?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I was to say about this. We mentioned the AI. We mentioned Alina a little bit. We mentioned our thoughts on where this may or may not be going. I kind of wanted to ask Chips like what they thought with if Mifuyu might be the evil head of the organization, or if they still believe it probably still is the what's her face?
Coordinator.
The coordinator. Again, it's going to be so late game when they introduce them as the villain that it's going to be like, okay, yeah. Because it's also a situation of, we don't know jack shit about them. What's even their name?
Yeah.
I'm legitimately asking, have they had a name yet?
I don't think.
Or have we just forgotten it?
I don't think.
I wouldn't be surprised if we forgot it, because they're in like 2 episodes.
Remember.
But I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of wondering if they will be the villain at the end, because yeah, of course the person who's modifying magical girl powers is doing that, but
Her name is Mitama Yakumo.
okay. I'm genuinely wondering whether that was actually in the show or not. Yeah, I'm sure it's in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they said her name in one of the episodes, but I don't remember it, and that goes to show you how memorable she is.
Yeah, I think this goes back to, we don't know how this is going to turn out, because either one, she will be revealed, and we're going to know so little about her, we're just going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or 2, she's not relevant, and therefore that's why she's not being talked about, so it's not her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, like we said, if this turns into 2 seasons, or more, I don't know, they might be able to set her up to be the bad guy. But at this point, there's no way you could do that with any sort of... here's the thing. Any big bad is going to suck. Because we haven't had time to see any of them. Like, if it's the coordinator, we don't know jack shit about you. Why do we care that you're the bad guy? If it's Mifuyu, we don't know jack shit about you. Why do we care if you're the bad guy? If it's this Alina person, we just met you. We don't know jack shit about you. Why should we care?
Yeah.
But now if it was Mammy, we know about Mammy. That's why we care.
I think fans would riot. Most fans would riot if they made her the villain, though.
Would they? I don't know. Maybe they would.
I mean, I can understand why you would want her to be the villain, but I think
it'd be kind of interesting.
But most people would probably say, no, you turned the character that turned everyone onto the show into a
was
villain.
Mammy really the only character to turn people onto the show?
The episode 3 twist was like the moment that made people say, oh, this isn't another generic magical girl show. Oh, this is something more.
But was that because of Mammy, or because they threw everyone's expectations upside? Oh my god, you're back!
Hello.
Hi. Have you been having trouble with your mic?
Y'all have been cutting out, so I haven't been in the conversation.
I'm sorry. We've been talking about how we think this show might not be going in the cohesive ending direction. We've also been talking a little bit about the coordinator and whether or not they have a chance of being the bad guy, or if it's Mifuyu, and why we should care about any of these people being the bad guy, because we haven't had any time to actually get to know any of them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I'm personally sticking by that, like, I don't really trust the coordinator, but I'm not really sure, like, with the Wings of the Magias, like, who the true antagonist is at this point.
Maybe it's the QB.
It might be.
The little QB.
We got a rogue QB, but again, we don't know anything about the rogue QB because they've done nothing to answer any questions that have been brought up about him. So why are we going to care, other than it's a QB?
Know.
I guess that's really my big takeaway from this is all, why do I care what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's like you've enticed me with some possibilities of interesting stuff, but you haven't developed my interest enough that I'm going to feel some level of catharsis at the end of this. I don't know, I think that's all I got. Anyone else have any thoughts on it?
Not really.
Gav, Envy,
Nope.
anything we haven't touched on?
Don't jump off of radio towers.
That's actually good advice.
Yeah.
Don't jump off radio towers because you could fall into an alternate universe internet place where an AI becomes a witch and all sorts of hootenanny happens, and then you gotta deal with Italian people. I actually like Italian stuff. So I am Italian, so I don't gotta tell you. I know you're Italian.
Yeah.
We're all Italian.
I'm not Italian.
Oh, get out! This is a mafia house. All right. I think that's it for today. Come back next week. We'll talk about Magia Record 10. We'll, I think, do Mew for next week. Yes? No?
Yeah.
We'll do that for next week. And, yeah. Oh, this is the... We should mention again, since this is the first one of the month, that at the end of the month, make sure you watch Velocipaster. Because I don't know where you'll find it, but you'll find it. And
It's on YouTube and on Amazon Prime.
okay,
Yep.
there you go. Yeah. Bye.
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 Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!